Okay, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the limitations of using linear regression for the classification problem, and that too it will be getting mathematically explained. Okay, so before going to discuss about the limitations of linear regression, so first of all we have to discuss about the main motive, right? The main aim, why we are using the linear regression, where it has been come from. Okay, in which part it is getting like used. What is the industry use of linear regression? Okay, so all of these things we are completely going to cover it from the scratch itself. Okay, now let's talk about today's agenda that we are going to discuss. So first of all, as we know that linear regression is a machine learning algorithm, right? And machine learning, it comes inside our data science. It is a subset of data science that is completely getting used across the globe nowadays. As we know that our globe is completely evolving by the impact of AI wherever you go in every industry, in your every day-to-day life also, you are going to see that, okay, you are getting used to every AI applications in our day-to-day life. So how this AI application, what is this AI application, how it is getting implemented, what is the agenda behind this, what is the thing that are getting like, what is the backend properties, what is the backend mechanism that is happening so that you are getting a complete, a beautiful AI application to be used in your day-to-day life, which is making your work completely easier. Okay, so the first and foremost thing that we are going to discuss, that is our introduction to data science. As I have told you that this is the session, you don't need to worry that, okay, I don't know about data science, I don't know about machine learning, how I'm going to understood that, okay, what is the concept that are getting discussed. Okay, so don't worry about that. I'm going to make you learn from the scratch with every details in this 2 days orientation session. Okay, so first of all, we are going to know about the introduction to the data science. Okay, then in data science, we are going to know that introduction means what is data science, why data science is getting used. Okay, what is the role of a data scientist? If in future you are like you will be a data scientist, then what is your role? Okay, how we are solving the problems in the data science. Then whenever this topic are getting discussed, that's where the machine learning came into picture. Okay, so the second topic that we are going to discuss, that is what is machine learning. What is machine learning? What are the types of machine learning? Okay, then what is the difference between the classification and regression, as our topic shows that the limitations of using linear regression in the classification problem. So it is most important to discuss, to know about what is the difference between a classification problem and a regression problem. Okay, then after we are going to discuss the linear regression algorithm. Okay, what is its purpose? What is the cost function that we are getting used? What is the main agenda behind the linear regression? Then how the linear regression is coming into picture, how it is solving the problem by using the gradient descent algorithm. Okay, what is the main thing that we are, how the we are going to train our model, okay, by using the linear regression, how it is being trained. After that, we are going to discuss about what are the limitations. Okay, for regression problem it is okay, but what is the limitations that is happening with the classification problems, that we will be focused on, and how we are solving this classification problems. Okay, without using the linear regression, how it is the problem will be getting solved, that we will be talking over the entire session. Okay, so let's first come to the introduction to our data science. Okay, now this is a picture I always like, I'm completely used to it because this is the best definition where whenever we are talking about the AI, data science on all this. Okay, so whenever we are talking about AI, we know artificial intelligence is nothing but it is the application, or it is the software that we are we are making, okay, the data scientists or the machine learning engineers, whoever will be there relating to the data. So whatever they are making, at the end of the day, they are making a AI application. And what does this AI application do? It will analyze the human behavior. It will act like the human. It has the think. It has the ability to think like a human and propose its action. Now, in this artificial intelligence, the data science come into picture. How? Because whenever we are dealing with the data science is nothing but it is the methodologies which includes the statistical concepts to deal with the data. Okay, and now what is the data? You all know, because in our schooling also we know that data is nothing but this is a piece of information, right? Whatever the raw information that we get, that is known as, we call it as a data. And as of now, in our globe, completely in each second, we are like generating the complete industry from various domains. They are generating tons and tons of data, right, per second. Like if we will count, if we will go and check the statistic, then I think in per second the world is generating around 2 or 3 billion of data per second. Okay, so whenever a huge amount of data is coming in a streamlined process, in a batch streaming process, so what to do with this data, right? What to do with this data? So here only the data science come into the picture, where we analyze the data, where we manipulate the data, where we do some predictions. Upon this data, we are going to train our machines. Upon this data, we are going to train our models. Okay, so that it will give us a predictive, accurate outcome. Now, whenever we are talking about the data science, okay, this complete field includes the machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision. Okay, so this machine learning, deep learning, NLP, computer vision, these are the techniques, these are the statistical computational techniques which is used to train our model. If I am using the model, the word model, that means what? We are building our data in such a way, okay? We are training our data in such a way that it should take the past data, whatever the data now we have, now the industry have, okay? And it will train itself so that whenever a new future data will come based on the same synopsis, okay, whenever a new data in the future it will come, so based on that new data, it doesn't need to do the computation again and again. Okay, so the pre-training has been done upon that data in such a way that, in such an accurate way that whenever a new data will come, it will automatically give you the predicted outcome. We don't need to do the training from the scratch itself again. Okay, so whether it will be a machine learning model we are going to build, whether we are going to deal with the artificial neurons with the deep learning technique, whether we are going to use the natural language processing for some speech recognition or for some text recognition, okay, or whether we are dealing with the images by the help of the computer vision technique. Okay, now if I will talk about this if I will talk about this statistics ED and Python part. Okay, so as I have told you that whenever we get the data, so first thing that we do, that is the extraction of the data. Okay, we extract our data, then we organize our data, we summarize our data, right? We manipulate our data in such a way that our data will be fully prepared to build or to pass on machine learning technique or deep learning technique or NLP or computer vision technique to predict, to train the model and to predict the outcome. So for that itself, we require the statistics and EDA, the exploratory data analysis. So this particular exploratory data analysis is nothing but it is completely based on the statistical techniques. Okay, so When we talk about the statistical techniques, we know that statistics is completely based upon the mathematical imputations and the hypothesis testings. Okay, so now to completely deal with this data, okay, obviously we need a language, we need a communication language so that we could communicate with our models, right? Whatever training we want to give, whatever the accuracy we want to give it. Okay, so for that we want a communication language, and here what Python or R comes into picture. As we know that Python is a completely high level programming language, it is interpreted, it is a high scalable language, it is easy to learn, okay, and it is easy to use, it is completely user friendly language, okay, so that R also. So these two languages are completely used worldwide for the data science and the artificial intelligence. So completely now, whatever we are doing with this statistics or with this like machine learning, deep learning, with the data science, whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, we are building an AI application. Okay, so what is our main purpose? Our main purpose is this one, the AI application. Okay, so if you are a data scientist, okay, you have done the prediction, you have built the model, it is getting you, it is giving you the most accurate outcome and all that. So based on that particular model, there will be an AI engineer present over there, who will be sitting over there, who is building the AI application based upon your data science model. Okay, now coming to the what is data science? Okay, what is data science? So data science, as you can see, it is the multidisciplinary field which deals with the study of very big amount of data using the model, tools, and techniques. And it helps to identify the unseen patterns and derive the meaningful information. Right? So, as we know that data science is about the extraction, the preparation, the analysis, visualization, and the maintenance of the information. So this information is nothing but what? It is the data. Okay, so basically it is a cross-disciplinary field that uses the scientific methods, and also it is getting processed to draw the hidden insights from the data. If we will go and see a data, if we will get a data in a Excel file, okay, so are you completely confident that you know about that completely data, you will draw the insights? There is something, okay, there will be something that is completely hidden. Okay, we can't see. If a normal person will see, they can identify if they have some statistical knowledge. Okay, if a normal person, if I will say, then what he will just make an assumption that okay, he can bring out the relation, okay, between the columns. He can know that okay, what is the pattern of this data, what are the data types of this data, okay, how many observations are there, how many columns are there, basically what is this data tells us, right? What is this data based upon, he can tell. But what about the hidden pattern? What about the hidden pattern? How my data is going to interact? How my data is going to give me a prediction that will be accurate when I will pass some future data to it? Okay, so this is where data science come into picture. Now, why this data science? So after knowing that what exactly data science is, obviously a person will explore why data science is important, right? So data, as we know, it has become the fuel of the industries, the main important part. Okay, and we know that the companies require data to function, grow, and improve their businesses. Right? So the data scientists deal with the data in order to assist these industries in making the proper decisions. Okay, the data-driven approach we are telling in nowadays the data driven approach. Okay, the data driven decision making, right? What is this data driven decision making? What is this data driven approach? Okay, the data that are getting extracted, right? The data that are getting extracted, we are making the analysis. The data scientists are making the analysis and giving, and it is the approach that is undertaken by the industries with the help of this data scientists who analyze the big data, or I will say, who will analyze the large amount of data to draw the meaningful insights. And these insights will be helpful for the companies who wish to analyze themselves and their performance in the market. Okay, so this is the, if I will say that the role of the data scientist, then the to deal with the unstructured data. Okay, both structured and unstructured. It will not that mandatory that if we will only getting the unstructured data, we will also getting the structured data. Okay, to deal with both the data that is present in a raw format. Okay, so this requires extensive data pre-processing. What is the data pre-processing? Where the data need to be cleaned, the data need to be organized, the data need to be manipulated in such a order to impart a meaningful structure to a data set. Okay, so the data scientists, they investigate this organized or this particularly cleaned pre-processed data and analyze it thoroughly to derive the information from it using various statistical methodologies. And these statistical methodologies are used to describe, visualize, and to hypothesize the information from the data. Okay, then with the use of these advanced machine learning algorithms, the data scientist predicts the occurrence of the events and takes the data-driven decisions. Okay, so this data scientists usually act as the consultants that is employed by the companies, right, where they participate in various decision making processes and creation of the strategies. Now, just take an example. Just take an example of companies like Netflix, Google, Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, so if you will see about the Netflix, if you will go and check the Google, if you will go and check the Amazon, so these are the companies that uses the complete AI. Okay, that uses the AI. Now, here the data scientists are used to develop the powerful recommendation systems for their users. What is this powerful recommendation systems? If you will go and check for the Netflix, okay, this is the very well and good example to better understand. So if you will go and check the Netflix, whenever you are scrolling through any kind of movies, suppose any crime thriller movies or any animated movies, so according to the user's behavior, according to your behavior, it will give you the recommendations again and again. Right? With the same criteria, it will give you the recommendation. Go and check with the Amazon. Whenever you are doing some shopping, whenever you are doing, suppose you are scrolling for some phones, like right. So at that point of time, you will go and check that whenever you are scrolling some phones, then based on that, it will give you the recommendation of some earphones or some mobile cases, covers, or of some chargers. Okay, so this thing, how it is, how a app is giving to you, right? And you know one thing, at the same instant of time, at the same instance, you are not only the single user. You are not only user that were using the Amazon or the Flipkart app, or you were the only one that is scrolling the to buy some mobile phones at the same time. Okay, there are crores of users, right? There are crores of users, there are millions of users who are scrolling the same thing at the same instance. Okay, and we never know that they are scrolling for what. Suppose I am scrolling for mobile phone, Okay, so my friend is scrolling for some dresses. Okay, or someone is scrolling for some other like accessories. Yes or no? At the same instance of time, it is able to give the recommendation system as per the user's behavior. If someone is scrolling for the mobile phones, it will give you according to the recommendation to that user. If someone is scrolling for some outfits, then according to the outfits, it will give you the recommendations. If someone is scrolling for some laptops to buy some laptops, according to it, it will give the recommendations, right? So in the same instance, okay, it can deal with the multiple users' behavior and it will give the recommendation side by side as per the user's behavior. Okay, now, so here data science has helped to create the smarter systems. Okay, it has helped to create the master system or the smarter systems that can take the autonomous decisions based on the historical data. Okay, suppose there will be a company who is like he wants that, okay, there is a location given, okay, in a particular location there are some houses, or suppose in a city, okay, in a city there are some houses to be sold, right? There is a businessman who want to sell the houses. Okay, so what he will do now, previously he will check, suppose the previously the houses that are getting sold in that particular area. Okay, so according to that, he just want to do the prediction that, okay, if I am going to sell in this particular city, if I want to expand this, my business in this particular city, then what will be my growth? Okay, in what amount my houses are going to be sold, right? How many houses will be sold per year? So these are the predictions that can be done with the help of the data science, with the help of the machine learning algorithms. Okay. So if I will talk about the features of the AI, so here we have the machine learning. Okay. In machine learning, we have supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. Okay, so as we have the deep learning also, NLP also, okay, computer vision, the neural networks, these neural networks come inside the deep learning part. Okay, so our main focus is to discuss about the machine learning. Okay, now what is the machine learning? Okay, what is the machine learning? So it is the science and the art of programming computers so they can learn from the data. Okay, suppose if I will say give you the example. Suppose I have the data like I have some age, I have some persons, okay, or I have some persons where I have recorded their age and their weight. Okay, suppose I have 100 persons with their age, and according to that, I have their weights. Okay, and from that age and weight, I just observe that we have something that is whenever my age is increasing, okay, or whenever I have the increased age, okay, so there I have observed that the weight are also getting increased. Suppose there is a age of the person that is a 22 age of a person. Okay, suppose the weight of that person is suppose 50 kgs. Okay, or 50 lbs. So whenever we are going to calculate after that, suppose there is a person who having the age of the 30. Okay, 30. So there, if you will go and check, the age is like around 60 or 70. Sorry, the weight is around 60 or 72. Okay, so in like this basis, whenever I observe that, I found a pattern that my age is directly proportional to my weight. That means when my age is count is increasing, the weight count is also getting increased. Okay, so based on that, I will train my that particular data in such a way that, okay, suppose tomorrow a new person will came with a new age. Okay, suppose tomorrow a new person will came with a new age. Okay, so my model will automatically predict his weight for that particular aged person. Got it? Suppose there is a new person came with a new age and we don't know the weight of that particular person. So no need to worry. We have my model, we have our model, which will automatically predict the weight of that person. Okay, and it will give you the accurate weight. Getting? So for the instances, the machine learning is also used to categorize the mails we have. So which are not important from the inbox to the spam folder. Right? Whenever we are making, suppose I have a, suppose I am getting one mail, okay, which is which is a spam, right? So in Gmail, we have the AI application best where it can automatically predict that, okay, it is a spam mail and it will check it back to the spam folder. Okay, so first we will use the detection algorithm to identify the phrases which we find in the spam mail. And with this algorithm, we will be able to identify the different patterns to mark them as the spam mail. Okay, so behind this, what is the backend application that has been implemented behind this, like how the Gmail is automatically recognizing the mail as a spam. Okay, the spam mail, and it is just sending it to the spam folder. So behind that, the data are getting completely trained. Okay, there is a model installed in the Gmail, or there is a model that is fitted in my Gmail so that it could automatically recognize, it will automatically predict the spam, it will recognize the spam mail and it will send it to the spam folder, okay, as soon as possible. So with this algorithm, okay, so and then we train them on the data which we gathered. Okay, then later we test it on the sample. So that's what I have told. Suppose I have this many age and the weight. I am going to train my model upon that particular past data so that when a new data will come, it will automatically predict the result. Okay, so here if I will go and check the example, so here suppose there is a company, okay, there is a company who has the invested amount, okay, and its profit. This is the data of that company. Okay, so when he invested $200, his profit is around $2,000. Okay, when he invested 300, according to it, his profit is $2,500. Right now, in the third year, suppose he has invested $100, but his profit was $3,000. So now, can you just imagine? Now, can you tell me that okay, it is directly proportional or inversely proportional? Because we know directly proportional means what? With my amount, with my increased amount, my profit will also getting increased, right? And with the, suppose if I will say that it is inversely proportional, that means if my amount is increasing, my profit is decreasing. But now we don't find such a pattern, right? We don't like here the concept of directly proportional also it will not work, and the concept of the inversely proportional also it is not working. Yes or no? No. So here can I say that it is difficult to identify the pattern, because look at here, whenever I have $400, also the profit is how much? $1,000. Even if I am investing a large amount, a increased amount from my previous investment. Okay, according to my previous investment, I have invested a large amount here. Still, my profit is how much? It is decreasing. Okay, then I invest another $100. It means along with this, addition to this, now also my profit is it is a very small changes I have noticed. Right now, in future, if I am spending $150 in my invested amount, then what will be my profit then? What will be my profit then? Right? So this is where this prediction is done by the machine learning. It is nothing but it is your future data. So what we will do, what the data scientists will do, they will train this particular data with the help of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, this is my past data, right? This is my past data, and what it will do, they will train this particular data. This is my model. Okay, they will train my particular model based on the required machine learning pass through it, so that whenever a new data will come, it will give you automatically, it will give you the prediction. Okay, automatically it will give you the prediction. Now here, if you will see, suppose according to this I have a graph made, right? So for 200, here my what is my profit, that is 2000. Suppose my for my 300, this is my 2500, right? Now suppose I have 100, so what is my profit, that is 3000. For 400 my profit is 100. Now for my 500 my profit is my 1500. Now if I will draw a straight line, pass through it, okay, pass through all my data points, okay, pass through all my data points, if I will draw a straight line to it, okay, and in future, what is my what is my invested amount, that is 150, right? So if I will go and check here, this is my 150, I have made a straight line here. So if I will make a straight line joining to my this equation line to the future invested amount, okay, and I will, if I will go, if I am going to join it to the y axis, okay, so through this straight line I am just creating one imaginary line to this and to my profit. Okay, then what is the amount that I am getting, that is 2700, 500. So what is my predicted amount if I will invest $150 in future? So my predicted amount will be 2750, the profit I will get. Okay, so this is a very simple example. Okay, with the numerical data we have, this is a very basic and simple example, and here it is easy to calculate, right? It is easy to draw the insight that okay, what is my what the thing that I have, what the profit I will be getting. Okay, now coming to the types of the machine learning models. Okay, so the machine learning models, if I will say, so we have the supervised machine learning, we have the unsupervised machine learning, and we have the reinforcement machine learning. Okay, now what is this supervised machine learning? Okay, so supervised machine learning is that when the machine, okay, when the machine learning task of learning a function that maps an input to an output. Okay, supported an example input output pairs. So as if we discussed here, this is unsupervised machine learning. Okay, this is unsupervised machine learning. Wherever we have an input data, along with that we have the output data. Okay, we have input data, along with that we have an output data. So what it will do, it will map my input data to my output data, and it will train itself, and in future whenever a new input data will come, it will give me the output according to the pre-training it has been done upon this data set. Understood properly? Okay, so here in supervised machine learning, the data set on which we train our model is labeled. Okay, we have some terms in data science. Okay, so here the data set on which we train our model, it is labeled. Okay, so we have the labeled data in the supervised machine learning. Okay, so there is a what? There is a clear and distinct mapping of input and output. Okay, so based on the example inputs, the model is able to get trained in the particular instances. As I have told you, the spam filtering. Okay, or as I have told you, the sales of a particular or the investment of a particular company, that is the label data. And based on this label data, the model is able to determine the accuracy. Okay, and supervised machine learning, it is the easier form of training. because we already have the input data and we already have the output data. And this is the past data, always remember. Okay, this is the past or we will get the current data. This is not the future data we have. Okay, now coming to the unsupervised machine learning. Okay, so here, if I will say in the supervised machine learning, we have the two types of problem, that is regression and classification. Okay, we have the extra supervision here. Now, what are the algorithms we use in supervised machine learning? Linear regression, logistics, super vector machine. Then we have the KNN algorithms. Okay, etc. We have the decision trees also. Okay, we have the ensembling techniques also. Now, so what is the aim of this supervised machine learning? That is to calculate the outcome. Okay, and what are these applications? Suppose the risk evaluation, the forecast, sales. Okay, these are the supervised machine learning applications. Now, we will talk about this regression and classification, don't worry. Now, coming to the unsupervised machine learning. Okay, so what is this unsupervised machine learning? In supervised, in a very simple manner, if I will say, in supervised machine learning, we have already the output, right, of the past data or of the current data. But in unsupervised machine learning, we don't have the output here. Okay, we don't have the output here. That means we have the unlabeled data. Okay, we have the unlabeled data. Now, this unsupervised machine learning, it is a technique during which the users don't go to supervise the model. Okay, instead of it, what it do? It allows the model to figure on its own to get the patterns and knowledge that was previously undetected. So here we are training the model to figure by its own. Okay, it will figure by its own. What it will figure? It will figure the patterns and it will figure the knowledge that was previously undetected, that was not completely detected. It mainly deals with the unlabeled data. Okay, that means the algorithm defines the patterns with the data sets and learn them. Okay, and the algorithms group the data into various clusters based on their density. So here what clustering came into picture. Okay, here what clustering came into picture. Okay, and here the visualization performance is very high. If we will go and check for the high dimensional data, okay, then we can perform the visualization here. Okay, and here the algorithms that is associated, that is the k-means algorithms. Okay, the a priori, then we have the k-means clustering, we have the hierarchical clustering. So basically we have the clustering algorithms here. Okay, forget about all that, like rest of the algorithms. So basically we have the clustering algorithms here. Okay, and we have something called as principal component analysis. Okay, now coming to this reinforcement. So here we have the recommendation system. I have given the example of this Amazon and Flipkart, right? There we don't have any output, right? Is there any output there? Suppose a user is checking out the mobile phones. Is there any output? No, right? What it will do, it will just group them. Okay, it will just group the data and according to it, it will give you the recommendations. Now coming to the reinforcement machine learning, this here we can tell that the robotics, if you will take the example of the robotics, so robotics came into the reinforcement learning. Here we deal with the artificial neural networks. Okay, and these artificial neural networks are completely designed as per the human neurons. As our brain is getting trained, as the humans are getting trained, okay, like that only, on basically based on that concept, we have the reinforcement machine learning. Okay, so this is my supervised machine learning. As I have told you, here are the input data. Okay, here are the annotations that these are the apples. Now this is my model. Okay, this is my model. So this is my input data. Annotations are these are the apples. This is my model. Now if a new same thing will come, okay. So what it will predict? Okay, it's an apple. Okay, now So this is my supervised and so here, okay, here I have the unsupervised machine learning example. Look at here. Suppose here it is my input data. Okay, I have apples, I have bananas, I have like oranges, something I have. Now, what this model will do, it will group it. Okay, it will group it. First, it will make the clusters. It will make the group for the apple, it will make the group for the banana, and it will make the group for this orange. Now, after making the clusters, okay, after making the clusters by using some clustering algorithm, so based on each group or based on each cluster, it is going to pass the what? We are going to pass the supervised algorithm, machine learning algorithms, which will in future it will give us the output. Predict it will give us the not output, it will give us the prediction. Okay, now coming to the regression problem and the we have the classification problem. Okay, what is this? Regression problem and classification problem. So going forward this, what I will tell you that whoever have not filled up the form, okay, who have joined whenever I have given you the form, whoever have not joined, so the new join is I'm sending you the form in the chat box. Okay, just please fill it up so that we can track your record and track your attendance. Okay, track your record of your attendance that you have joined to the session, so that tomorrow we at the same time as we have the session, it will be easier to reach you and you will be joining the same. If you are interested, then you will be joining the uh, continuity of this session tomorrow itself. Okay, so coming to the regression and the classification problems. So what is this regression problem that we have? So under the supervised machine learning, okay, we have one of the method known as the regression method. So here it helps to predict the future values based on the prior data that we have collected. Okay, it is the same as the sales prediction or sorry, the investment prediction that I have mentioned. Okay, it is completely the same as the investment that is data that I have mentioned. That is the completely a regression problem. Okay, that is completely a regression problem. Now, if I will talk about so basically in regression problem, we have a continuity. Okay, we have a continuity, or I can say we will get a continuous variable. Okay, the data, the observations are completely in a continuous manner where we will get, and it will be of numerical data or it will be of categorical data, but the output should be in a continuous manner. Okay, like the age and the output, the age and the weight, right? So this is the continuous data that we are getting. Now, for example, here also it has given in the screen that is predicting the pricing of the property from one factor, okay, or predicting the usage of the electricity for the specific building from the multiple factors. Okay, so here in the regression, as I told you, it is used to predict the continuous values such as price, salary, age, weight. Okay, so these are my continuous values. Now, if I will go and check for the classification problems, okay, if I will go and check for the classification problems, so here we don't have any continuous variable with us. Okay, so in classification, we maybe have binary classification or we maybe have the multi-class classification. Okay, so what is this binary classification? Where we have only two output, yes or no, pass or fail, male or female. Okay, uh, rain or not rain, right? Cloudy or not cloudy. So win or lose. These are my classification problems. Getting? Suppose like the spam, the email spam. So what are the outputs for that? If I will say, suppose a new mail will come, right? What is the output for that? We have only two things to do. Either it will check it is a spam or it is a not or it is not a spam. That's it. Okay, so this is the difference between classification and the regression problem. So the classification model is trained on the basis of what? Different parameters. If we will check about the email spam detection, so here it is the model will be trained on basis of millions of emails on different parameters. And whenever it receives a new mail, it will automatically identify whether the email is spam or not. If the email is spam, then it will be moved to the spam folder. Okay, now if I will talk about the machine learning classification algorithm, then here we have the logistic regression, the k nearest neighbors, the support vector machines, the SVM, the naive Bayes, decision tree, random forest. Okay, these all are the example of the classification. These are the classification algorithms. Okay, now so if we will talk about the linear regression, okay, if we will talk about the linear regression, then linear regression is nothing but what is the purpose of this? Okay, what is the purpose of this? So this is the methodologies that is used for measuring the relationship between two continuous variables. Okay, as I have given you the example for the age and weight, right? So here we have two continuous variables, and what is it doing? It is finding the relationship, right? As I've told you that whether it is directly proportional or inversely proportional, or what is the hidden pattern. So this directly proportional or inversely proportional or something that we have, this is nothing but what? This is the relationship between that two particular variables, and those variables are continuous. Okay, so whatever the variables that we have here, we have two variables. That is, one is independent variable, another one is our dependent variable. So the independent variable are those, okay, up, upon or from which variables we are getting the output. That are the independent variables. Okay, and what is my dependent variable? My dependent variable is nothing but it is my output variable. Why it is called as the dependent variable? Because it is completely dependent of rest of the factors, right? It is completely dependent on the rest of the factors. Getting? Suppose as I have told you, or suppose take an example that I have to sell the house, right? So I have the location, okay. I have the structure of the house. It will be like a bungalow or a mansion or a like duplex or a 1 BHK or 2 BHK flat, okay, or flats. I will group it as like that. Okay, I have the location, I have the structure, then I have the color of the house, then I have the, if I will say okay, this many things, these three factors, consider these three factors. And based on that, I have the sale. Output is nothing but it is my sale price. Now, obviously, if you will go and check that, if you will buy a mansion, right? So according to that only, according to that structure, according to that color, okay, so obviously the price will change. It has a fixed price. Suppose you are going for a duplex, right? Now, obviously the price of this mansion and duplex will be changed, right? Yes or no? So this my price is nothing but my dependent factor y, or my dependent variable y, because it is completely dependent upon the rest of the factors that we are using, or that we are calling it as a what? That is our independent variable. So in a simple linear regression, if I will say, okay, the predictor value is the independent value that doesn't have any underlying dependency on any variable. Okay, and the relation between the relation between this x and this y. Okay, the relation between the x and this y. These x are nothing but these are what? These are my independent variables. And this y is nothing but this is my dependent variable. That is my output. So what is the relation between this x and this y? As we know, what is the equation of a linear regression? What is the equation of a linear regression? If I will say, it is nothing but y equals to mx plus c, right? This is my simple linear regression formula that we have like we know from our schooling in our mathematics in our 9th standard mathematics. Y is equal to mx plus c, right? Where what is the relation between my y and x? If I will go and find, that is the purpose of the linear regression. Okay. That is the purpose of our linear regression. So here my aim is nothing but it is my slope, and c is nothing but this is my intercept, and this is a constant, right? So based on this parameter, I am going to train my model. Based on this slope, I am going to train my x data. Okay, based on this aim slope, I am going to train my x data, so that whenever a new data point will come, okay, whenever a new data point will come, it will automatically give us to my y prediction. It will give you the prediction of the y. Okay, so this is the complete funda behind my linear regression. And linear regression based on it is completely based on the what? A straight line. So if I will say what is the main aim of linear regression, it is nothing but to find the best fit line. Okay, it is completely used to find this is my best fit line. Okay, where this is my best fit line, right? So this line should be found in such a way that, okay, so these are my suppose predicted points, right? Sorry, these are my like actual points. These are my actual data points. Okay. Now, if I will go and draw a straight line over there passing through all the points, then the distance, and if I am doing the straight line here, now according to this point, this is my point on my straight line. According to this one, this is my point upon my straight line. According to this data point, this is my point on straight line. Okay, this one for this I have here, this one for this I am here, and this is for this one. Now, the purpose is that, okay, the purpose is that to reduce the distance. So this is my what? This is my predicted value. Okay, this is my predicted value, and these are my what? These are my actual value. Okay, this is my actual value, and these points are getting predicted over this what? Straight line. So what is the main purpose of my linear regression model? If we will go and draw an imaginary line between these 2 points, between my predicted point and my actual point, here also, okay, here also, and here, then the main aim is that to reduce this distance, okay, to reduce this distance so that my actual value, will become approximately equal to my predicted value, or vice versa, so that my predicted value will approximately equal to my what? Actual value. And for that, this point, okay, this actual point should shift, okay, should shift to here itself. Okay, for this point should shift to here itself. Okay, then only I can tell that, okay, my model is completely get trained and it will give me the accurate result. Whenever the distance between my actual point and my predicted point is approximately equal to 0, or it will get reduced, okay, or it will get reduced, then only I can say that I have found a best fit line where my actual value is approximately equal to my predicted value and my error is 0. So this error is nothing but what? This is the distance. This is the distance between my actual value and my predicted value. Okay. So today we will just stop it here. Okay. And tomorrow we will continue the rest of the part. Now, I have just briefed out what is linear regression. Okay, I have just briefed out what is linear regression. So tomorrow we will be conducting this, how we are going to calculate the distance mathematically, why we are using this cost function. Okay, how we are using this cost function, then how the gradient descent algorithms come into picture. Okay, this is as it has already written that linear regression, right? So it is basically deals with the regression problems. Okay, and I will tell you that this is the first algorithm of machine learning. Okay, this is the first algorithm of machine learning, or I can tell you that it is the base algorithm of the machine learning. If you are good with the linear and the logistic regression, right, then after that, what all are the algorithms are there, you will be understood in a very clear manner. So first of all, the base should be clear, right? Okay, so this is all for today's session. Let me stop the recording.